All right, this is Trevor Mohammed for Talk Black Radio. We are here at the VIP screening of the Black Panther movie, and I'm here with two sisters who have just come out of the cinema having seen it, just to get their thoughts. So, Latifah,
yes.
What did you think of the film?
The film was well worth the wait. It was amazing. The storyline, down to the action, down to the characters, everyone played their role. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Awesome. And how about you, Kate?
I think that the film was amazing. It kept my attention all throughout the film. I didn't get bored one bit. There was a few surprises in there, but it was excellent. Yeah, 5-star rating straight. I'm going to see it again and again and again.
I'm going to come with you because I feel like I have to see it as well. Obviously, this is like one of the first films I can think of that kind of represents Africa in like a forward-thinking way, which made me very nervous coming here because I was thinking, like, do you know when something's too good to be true? I felt like it was going to be that. What was your favorite? I don't want to spoil it for other people, but like, what messages did you take away from the film?
I think one of the biggest messages that they were sending was the fact that how valuable the motherland is, how valuable Africa is, how much resources we do have naturally without just how valuable Africa is, and that's where we all need to be. Really, that's what we all want to be. So that's one thing, the message that was really strong for me.
Excellent. How about you, Kate?
For me, I find that my most favourite thing that I got from the film was the sisters, how strong the sisters were, the fighters, the warriors. The toughest warrior out of the whole of their country was a female, and I loved that. Yeah, and the way that they were in battle, I loved that. Yeah.
Awesome. And then just going forward now, obviously, is it? Because for me, I think those 2 points really stood out for me. I also liked the whole concept of unity in terms of even how in the film, even though they have differences and whatnot, how everybody kind of comes together at the end. For us, like as a generation, do you think it's important for us to have that kind of image of black people? Because I know when I talk to young people, generally our generation, we have like when you think of Africa, the first thing that comes to mind is like starving children, poverty. Do you think this film is important, like just in terms of our generation and those coming after us to actually see?
Oh, definitely. We're talking about generation to generations. Things get passed down. Like the film started with the children and it ended back at home with the children. The problem started because of the uncles, the elder generation. So we have to take responsibility for what we do now in this day and age, because at the end of the day, it's all for the future. It's all for the children. So yeah, no, definitely. We have to take responsibility 100%.
I think it was a positive message for young people to see black images in such positive roles. When I was growing up in the early 90s, I think there was only like Whitney Houston who I saw in a main role on film. So I think, yeah, it's great. Like the images that we see of Africa, as you said, it's usually negative images. So it's good for young people to see another view, so they can hope to go to Africa and take more interest in their culture and themselves as African descendants. Yeah.
So two sisters who absolutely loved the film. I loved it too. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I'm here with Claudinia and Shakila. We've just literally finished watching the Black Panther. First thoughts, what did you think of it?
It was an amazing movie. I think the best Marvel by far.
Would you on that?
Yep.
Yeah, and how about you?
It was immense, intense, serious. I was so excited about it coming out, and I'm so happy I've gotten to see it. Seriously good film.
Excellent. What would you say, because I know for me personally, there's a lot of different parts I could pick out, but for you, what was your favourite message, what was your favourite message that you'll take away from having watched the film?
I think it was a sense of unity and like brotherhood and coming together and just fighting for a strong cause and really thinking about where we come from. Yeah. And I think it was just great to see us represented in such a positive light.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sense of community, for real. It was just like, as you said, it was us as a family coming together, and in a positive way, and in a constructive way, and in a fierce way if needed be. You know, so I loved all of that. It was beautiful. Yeah. It was beautiful. Really, really nice.
One of the key things about the film, right, is obviously the where it's situated, Wakanda. It's like a technologically advanced African nation, and we know that when we think about Africa is always presented in like a really backward way. So you think about poverty, this and that. How important do you think it is, like, for black people, or particularly young black people, to actually see themselves or Africa represented in that way?
I think it's really important for young black people to see, I guess, Africa in our home represented in a positive light. I think having a sense of where we come from, presented so positively, can only be encouraging. So I think it was brilliant.
I hear young, but I think it's important for all. For all. Yes, it's important for the young, but for the old, for those that are maybe not as familiar as they should be and need to be with the generation as to where we come from. You know, I think it's important for them to come, young, old, everybody needs to come and see this and understand what this film's about. And if they don't understand, ask questions, find out more, do your own research. But at the end of the day, this is just such an important film. It's like, I'm still excited by it. The film's gone and I'm still excited. And I know I'm still going to have to go and watch it again, you know, because there's still things in there that you see and you still maybe need to break it down a bit more, even for yourself. But just to go and watch it again, to be entertained anyway, it is in itself, you know, immense for me. So I know I'm looking to go and see it again, but I think it's important for everyone to go and check this out and find out what it's about and to find themselves out as well as looking, because you don't get something like this going on every day at all. So the fact that it's come, the fact that it's here, the fact that it's arrived, make a point to come and see it.
Okay, so I'm here with Ryan and Carl at the end of the Black Panther VIP Black Panther screening. Obviously, we've been waiting months and months and months to watch this film. Finally got a chance to watch it today. What do you think?
I thought it was an excellent film. You know, like you get some of them films where it's hyped up for ages and then you're really looking forward to it and then you go and see it, you feel it's a bit of a letdown.
Batman versus Superman.
Get me, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. But with this one, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even like the message that was put across. For me, the bit at the end, I forgot his character's name, but Michael. Oh, okay. But in terms of, in a generic sense, in terms of, I like the message that was put across, the way that we were portrayed. I thought it was pretty good. I'm thoroughly enjoyed myself. Yeah.
I thought it was a great film. Oh yeah, I thought it was a great film, and when I saw the trailer, I'm like, it's gonna be one of the films where the trailer is actually better than the film itself. But no, it was actually better than the trailer, and also came across very well. And one of the things that I didn't really like though was when
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Oh, okay, alright, fine. No spoilers. Yeah, alright, fine. Then no. But literally, it was a good film. The characters were excellent. Michael B. Jordan was an excellent actor. I loved his characters. I loved his character, and also when he was doing the fight scenes as well. Mad.
So both of you talked about some of the messages that were in the film. If you had to pinpoint one message that you say you'll take away from the film today, what would you say it was?
For me, it wouldn't even be. It was just the way he's portrayed as he's a leader. The way he looks after his family, the way he looks after his community. Even towards the end, you see his growth in terms of where he might not his plans and his vision altered during the course of the film through certain events. So it's his journey. You see his growth as a person. But yeah, in terms of just him as a character himself, like the leader he is. But yeah, that's what I.
Awesome, that's excellent. How about you, Khaled? Lean in this time.
He's portrayed as a leader, and also like what it came across is that he really wants to help everybody and not just the people that he's surrounded with. So when it comes down to it, it's like you can't just focus on yourself. You've got to be able to, pass on help, and even if it's not, setting people up, at least giving them some of the tools, to help themselves.
So I'm here now with Richard and Trevor. We've literally just finished watching the Black Panther. I'm going to start off with you, Richard. What did you think of it?
I think it was a film that was long overdue. It was interesting. It's colourful. The characters were well rounded, and it lays a foundation for future movies.
Excellent. How about yourself?
Yeah, I feel I was quite chuffed about it because obviously it's a long time coming. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I thought it was going to kind of be a bit flaky and it was going to kind of detract away from the original kind of storyline. But I'm glad that they kind of brought in the Marvel aspect and, from previous films and stuff like that. I was chuffed with it, man. Yeah.
Excellent. Obviously, like I said, it's a film that's been long in the making. I remember when the trailer came out, like maybe 2 years ago. The first trailer was like, wow, like I really wanted to see it. Obviously, there's a lot of messages in the film. If you were to take away a particular message or something that really stood out for you, what would it be?
I think a strong part in the film was Kingship. and the right to rule. And I thought that was quite interesting because it kind of codified itself when he was in, Wakanda. And then the end scene is standing, at the end of the film, telling the world how it's going to be. So, you felt this man had already gone through the trial of showing he was going to be a good man. And to me, that is a good message. And it also sets him up for the perfect supervillain. So, yeah.
How about yourself?
Well, I think what I took from the film was, I suppose, a bit of unity. I like the fact that that the sergeant, the general, at the end, she still remained loyal to the king, and she went through a position in the film where her loyalty was to the throne. And then obviously once she kind of worked that out, then she came back to what she originally thought was true to her, which I thought was really good, a really good message. Yeah.
We've literally just finished watching the Black Panther. I was just gonna have a quick discussion just to see what we thought about it at the end. I'm still processing it. How did you feel about it?
Do you know what? I think I built it up in my mind. I really wanted to like it, and I've come down here, I wasn't feeling it.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Do you know what? I don't think I'll be doing Black Panther 2 in a rush. I'll see that whenever. I'll be honest.
Miles looks like you're agreeing a little bit.
Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming.
It was underwhelming.
Yeah, to be honest, it was.
I came for, but I wanted some wow.
Yeah, I guess they were going for that with the scenery and the graphics, but yeah, the storyline, what was underpinning it, it just didn't grab me. I feel like there was a lot of symbology behind it as well, or symbolism rather.
With this place, you think people would have seen it already?
Yeah, those who are gonna see it are gonna see it.
Okay.
So yeah, I wouldn't wait.
Okay.
I mean, we're trying not to give away too many spoilers. Some people like to wait for DVD.
All I'm saying is that the colonizer was saved, carried back to Wakanda on a magic carpet, and the poor brother never make it. Like that symbolism. Bruv, look, he didn't want to because he was gonna die like his ancestors.
You might have to cut that out now.
No, bruv, I'm lost. I'm miffed. I'm like, I came to watch us prevail. We died like our ancestors. I'm not feeling that. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the film's huge. We've contributed to the coffers, and Disneyland Paris is probably going to run for another 10 years. So that's terrific. That's good for them. But like,
You didn't feel like.
I mean, look. What they say? He who pays the piper calls the tune. I could see the piper was in there. So kudos to the brothers and sisters who was in it. Acting was great, story was great. I can see the direction was great. I know that a lot of people will love it, and there's a lot to love about the film. But if you really get into the symbolism, and there's bigger heads than me gonna start breaking this down in time. What did I take from the film? We gon' die. We all gon' die. Is what I took from the film. No. Okay. Last bit. And notice when we want to go free. We're always being told, just take a small step and have a program in your local community. Don't worry with international affairs. Just get a program in the ghetto. Did you not notice we got a program in the ghetto, and we didn't actually, with all of the wealth and the natural resources, in fact, according to the story, the greatest natural resources ever, we got a community program where we'll talk a little bit about whatever.
They did say science and technology, like it was science and technology, and he said it was the first of many, that it was starting it there, and it was the first of many.
Why are you going to start there? Like, I'm from Wakanda. We've been living large for years. That's what the other dude was talking about. We've been living. Like, look how we flying in. We make invisible planes, and we're gonna start with science and technology. Like, really, I don't know. It's cool. I'm not knocking the film. Enough respect to the people that was in it, but like, hey. I was underwhelmed. I still thought it was a good film, but I was underwhelmed, and maybe it's my fault because perhaps, it felt like Barack Obama all over again. It felt like it was some Barack Obama business. It was like, I shouldn't have.
Wow. So a slightly different take on the film in this one. Personally, I'm still processing it. I think it is that. Are we out? Oh, sorry. Yeah, personally, I'm still processing the film. So I got to think about it a little bit more. But I liked it because I liked some of the symbolism and stuff in terms of even just the way, the stuff that we were talking about from the trailer, the representation of Africa. Yeah, and it was like even how they incorporated some of the African, like for example, the spear. It's like, oh, spear chuckers, you know how they use that terminology. But like to bring it up there, no, this is a different type of thing that we're dealing with. I thought it was interesting. But obviously, we can't, if it's a film that's been made and funded, then there's only so much that you can expect. You know what I mean? So I guess so. We'll talk about it more. I'm sure as more people, we said there's bigger heads that will break down the film. We'll get into that more. But I personally liked it. All right, thank you.